You might think this is just another story about chasing a dream, but trust me, what happened next was completely unexpected. It taught me everything I know about resilience.
In the deadliest cold of Siberia, an 80-year-old woman heard something outside her door. Not the wind, not the storm, but breathing. Heavy, weak, desperate. When she opened the door, a pregnant tiger collapsed at her feet, bleeding, freezing, dying. And in that moment, one impossible decision changed everything. The wind screamed across the Siberian wilderness like a warning from another world. Snow moved sideways. Trees bent. The temperature had dropped below -40. Nothing survived long out here, except the stubborn and the desperate. Inside a small wooden cabin buried under snow, an elderly woman named Elena sat beside a dim stove, rubbing warmth back into her hands. She had lived here for decades, alone, quiet, surrounded by silence and memories. Then came the sound, a thud, soft but heavy. She froze. Another sound followed, a slow drag across the snow. Elena turned toward the door. Her instincts told her this was not the wind. She stood, slowly, opened the door, and the world stopped. A tiger stood on her porch, massive, striped, shivering, its breathing ragged, steam rising from its body. Its eyes met hers, not with aggression, but exhaustion. Then Elena saw the blood and the swollen belly. Pregnant, the tiger staggered, then collapsed, right at her door. Elena's heart pounded so loudly she could hear it. This wasn't possible. Tigers did not come to humans. They avoided them, feared them, but this one had chosen her. She stepped closer. The tiger didn't growl, didn't move, just watched, eyes heavy, weak, trusting. Elena whispered, voice trembling, "Easy. I understand. I understand." The animal tried to stand, failed. A low, pain sound escaped her throat. Elena's fear dissolved. Empathy took its place. She grabbed blankets, moved slowly, covered the tiger's side. The tiger didn't resist, didn't attack, just closed her eyes for a moment, as if she had finally reached safety. Elena noticed the wound, a deep gash along the hind leg, frozen blood, swelling, infection, and the pregnancy. The tiger's body trembled with contractions. Too early, too dangerous. If she gave birth here, neither she nor the cubs would survive. Elena rushed inside and grabbed her old emergency radio. Static crackled, then a voice. "This is Regional Wildlife Response. State your emergency." Elena spoke quickly. "There's a tiger at my door. Pregnant, injured. She will die without help." Silence. Then, "Stay inside. Do not approach. Team dispatching immediately." Elena looked at the tiger. The tiger looked back. Neither moved. Neither left, because both understood. Time was running out. Hours passed. The storm worsened. The tiger's breathing slowed. Her eyes struggled to stay open. Elena stepped outside again. Slowly, carefully, she sat beside her. No sudden movements, just presence. The tiger watched her hand move closer, closer, until Elena gently rested it near her shoulder. Warm fur, shivering muscles, pain. But the tiger didn't react, didn't snap, didn't warn. Instead, she lowered her head, a silent agreement, a wild predator choosing trust. In the middle of a frozen world, the rescue team arrived just before dawn. Snowmobiles, floodlights, voices through the storm, veterinarians, wildlife officers. They froze when they saw the scene. An elderly woman sitting beside a tiger, alive, calm, protective. The lead vet whispered, "She chose you." They moved carefully, injected sedative, stabilized breathing, wrapped her in thermal blankets, lifted her onto a reinforced stretcher. Elena watched silently, refusing to leave her side. "I'm coming," she said. She trusted me. I won't abandon her now. The helicopter blades roared to life. They lifted into the storm, carrying two fragile lives. At the Wildlife Medical Facility, treatment began immediately. The wound was worse than expected. Deep tissue infection. possible trap injury. The pregnancy was unstable. Every second mattered. Elena stayed nearby, watching, praying. The tiger woke hours later, disoriented, weak, but alive. Her eyes searched the room until they found Elena. She calmed instantly. No aggression, no panic, just recognition. Days passed. The infection slowly retreated. Strength returned. Elena visited daily, spoke softly, sat quietly, and the tiger began responding, following her movements, relaxing near her. A bond formed, unspoken, impossible, real. During a deeper examination, doctors discovered something shocking. The wound wasn't accidental. It was a steel trap injury. Poachers. Recent. The tiger had escaped, but not without damage. And then another discovery. Ultrasound. 2 cubs. Alive, but weak. The stress had nearly killed them. The tiger hadn't just come for help. She had come to save her children. And somehow, she had known where to go. The team looked at Elena. How did she find you? Elena whispered. Maybe she didn't find me. Maybe she remembered humans could help. One night, alarms rang. The tiger was going into labor. Too early. Vitals unstable. The cubs struggling. The room filled with tension. Doctors moved fast. Elena stood behind the glass, hands shaking. Come on, you're strong. You survived this far. The first cub arrived, barely breathing. Then the second. Silence filled the room. Moments stretched into eternity. Then a tiny cry. Life. Both cubs alive. The tiger, exhausted, lifted her head. Weak but aware, she pulled the cubs closer, protecting them, even in pain, even after everything. A mother until the very end. Months passed. The cubs grew strong. The mother healed. Her hunting instincts returned. Her strength undeniable. It was time. They transported the family back to the wilderness. Snow stretched endlessly. Silence. Freedom. The gate opened. The tiger stepped out first. Then the cubs. They paused, looked around, smelled the air. Home. But before leaving, the mother turned, looked back at Elena. A long, still moment. Recognition. Gratitude. Then she nudged her cubs forward and vanished into the forest. Weeks later, Elena returned to her cabin. Life felt quiet again, almost empty, until one morning. She stepped outside and saw footprints. Fresh, large, and small. 3 sets, leading toward her door. Not fear, not hunting, just presence. A sign. They were alive. They remembered. And somewhere in the endless Siberian wilderness, a mother tiger walked stronger because one human opened her door. Sometimes the wild doesn't come to attack. It comes to trust. And when we answer that trust, we don't just save an animal. We save a piece of the world.